Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Abby with Abby Reviews. This is going to be my review and recap for Chasing LA Season 1, The Reunion Part 2. It came on last night. We're going to watch it this morning. We're doing this with in the bonnet. I'm going through hair transition. It'll be done tomorrow. But let's jump into it and see. I'm not fooling. Let's see what happened. Okay, so we start this episode with all of the traumas and things that people have gone through and been through during the season. I am so dark. Jesus Christ. But we are talking to Hershey and his HIV diagnosis and how he had just got that diagnosis like right before. Please ignore the Coco Melon and Scooter in the background. Right before they I just want to say that to Hershey, like, we love you, we support you, I am 100% praying for you and keeping you covered and uplifted. You are my favorite person. You were my favorite person before the show even started, because you were genuinely the only person I knew and followed in real life. Before the show started, and getting to know you through the show and as well as TikTok. You are an amazing person. And you know, I love you, boo. And I just want you to know that you are loved and you are covered. And I'm not crying any thug tears on this show because I'm just not gonna do it. But that's how we actually started with this child apologizing. Hold on. I just jumped straight to her. We officially started with the D. Hawkins and Jeremy situation continuing, and D. Hawkins offering Jeremy a sincere apology and him taking it, and then Mr. Ray talking about the dick will make you do crazy things. You want it done? That's a word right there. And that dick hit the crazy button, chair, baby. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, all right, let's continue, shall we? That was a very heated exchange for no apparent reason. So they're talking about Jayla and how, you know, she lost her job during the pandemic and she was living off of her savings and her rent was $1,600 a month. And they took a trip to Vegas, and that's where she got the idea that she could move to Vegas. It's cheaper to live there. You know, it's lit. It's more open, so she'd have more opportunities to, you know, to continue to make money. So she decided to move to Vegas. Friend, I say hey to the people. You in trouble. Give me some sugar. Goodbye.
Go sit down.
Go sit down, touching stuff every 45 seconds. Okay, so friend came out of nowhere. It was like, I have a problem with that. And he was like, not with your struggle, but where you're living. You live in Vegas. You don't even live in LA. Like, they got in a heated exchange. She said, you just mad because you sucking dick for free on Grindr and I'm getting checks.
What? What? Are you watching? I need to watch that. I need to watch it. I need to watch that. Damn.
I'm sorry, that took me. That sent me. I was like, oh. And she was like, and Fred was like, who goes around showing their bank account? She's baby, like, the girls are fighting. They're fighting. But I don't understand why Fran feel like she can have a say. And like, that's just like Andre saying, well, if you're not here, you're not a part of the cast. Y'all are not in charge of anything. So be quiet. Thank you. And the people from the come up let that boy drive all the way up from Florida to Atlanta to be on the come up Atlanta. So what difference does it make? What difference does it make? Okay, so they continue to argue. Yes, I have on my grandma glasses because I'm trying to work at the same time, multitasking. Multiple streams of income. That's all I'm gonna say. So they still arguing back and forth about Grindr and who's doing what to whom, and Baby, the tax returns. Yeah, they continue to with each other, and then Mr. Ray had to step in and be like, okay, we just gonna go to Quan because clearly there's gonna be no consensus between you two. So yeah, that's a thing that happened. Okay, so they have a conversation with Quan briefly about his drug addiction and how he even had a relapse during filming and how he's come out on the other side and how, you know, he was having a hard time. He had some friends pass away. He had one friend pass away where they couldn't even go to the funeral because the family didn't like the fact that he was gay and was like, you F-words can't come to the funeral to grieve your friend. Child. That baby gone. Okay. That's another discussion for another day. Oh my God. Just when I thought these niggas was gonna get to some type of resolve between Andre and Jayla, they was gonna put the drink though, when he threw a drink back at her, they drinks thrown at each other, they was gonna come to some type of resolve. This bitch done pulled a Gardini and bought this child's LLC. Jayla bought Andre's LLC. Now, Andre, you seem to be a young man who is very much about his business. Why don't you have your LLC already purchased? Son, help Auntie understand what is going on. She bought his LLC. Oh my God. I know she said she about to say she gonna get back, and this is gonna send Andre to another level, because at this point he had come to a resolve and he was like, we just gonna be good, we not gonna talk about it, we not gonna discuss it, you good, I'm good, we good. Her and Jayla and Fran is being a jackass this whole thing. How you gonna throw Fran? I don't seem to ever gonna be able to get along, because as soon as Fran was given the floor, she immediately insults Jayla. That's no way to come to a resolution. You can't, your first things out your mouth can be, you have no brain. So, like, I don't even know why we're even having this kind of conversation, because you don't have a brain to comprehend what's going on. Oh, daughter. Clearly, you don't want to come. You just want to insult. You just want the floor to insult her and not be interrupted. So, you know, and Jayla keeps saying that she's transphobic, that Fran is transphobic. Child. Let's see what happens. Baby, Jayla said, I bought it. She filed it on February 12th. She was like, I just wanted, because you've been calling me all these names, da-da-da-da-da. I bought it to be messy, because I was going to be like, bow, on my forehead like an ace of spades. She bought that child's, and Andre said that it was too much. She bought that child's LLC. That was too much for that baby. He got up and walked off. Listen, because I feel like if he had stayed, he would have got so angry. He'd have swung on her. I feel like that's where that was heading. It was heading to a place of violence. So he got up and removed himself from the situation. Yeah. Now she pulled a Gardini and bought his LLC. Damn. Andre got Gardini'd. I'm turning it into a verb. He got Gardini'd. When you buy somebody else's LLC to be messy, you've been Gardini'd. I really need them to give Andre a moment to breathe and process what the fuck just happened. This girl bought his LLC and she did it before the mixer. Which means before she threw the drink in his face, before the whole altercation with the chairs. And so before y'all even got into that particular altercation, you were already so outdone with that young man that you bought his LLC before the mixer. Before y'all, like, what did he possibly say that took you to this level where you felt the need to purchase this child's LLC? And now that if you bought it before, which means you were that angry to buy it before y'all got it, before you drew that drink, now that explains you throwing the drink in his face. That explains that. Shit. And now the producers is in the bathroom. Like, now that she's saying that she wants to undo it, do you think there's a way y'all can move forward? You know, she admitted she was trying to be malicious. She apologized. She's trying to give it back. And Andre, rightly so, is like, you gonna have to give me a minute, because, you know, y'all got to give this baby a minute to process. That's a lot. That's a lot to process. Child, wish the food. Oh. You'd have got a 1-2 kayak. Child. Think you wouldn't. Because Andre said, regardless of what we was arguing about, I ain't never touched nobody's business and nobody's brand. Now, I may have thrown some personal jabs at you, but I wasn't trying to fuck up your brand and how you make your money. And you came over here and, child, that's a lot. I'm better than me because I'd have bust in the face. Child, this producer is sending me. Do you hear me? He was like, well, let's give it a moment. She said, first of all, props for walking away. Yay, you. Because da-da-da-da. Okay. Okay, so Andre is really trying to get himself together. Apparently, the LLC. Yeah, so Andre said that this LLC that she purchased is pretty much an empty one because his business is run as a DBA, and so the LLC is pretty much worthless. And like he could rebuild a new brand tomorrow. So, in terms of the impact that what's the girl's name? Jayla thought it was going to have, not so much. So that's good that he has his affairs in order to where her buying the LLC did not have the impact that she may have thought it would have if she was really trying to do some damage to him. So he gonna go back out there. We gonna see what happens, child. Ooh, Jesus. Okay, so that had potential to go really wrong really quickly. So shout out to Mr. Ray for bringing it back in. It was about to go left. Andre came back. He was giving his D. Hawkins friend all exalted and extol the virtues of Andre about how when he was contacted about Jeremy Hawkins, that's how Jeremy Hawkins got his new show that he's on. He got a glowing review from Andre about him being professional. How D. Hawkins was working as an assistant stylist for Andre on a show, and they found out that he did set design, and that's how he got hired. Friend talked about how Andre been here for him when he was going through with their mother. So, you know, they was able to give Andre he was like, outside of this circle, I'm not trying to fuck up anybody's business or brand. I'm not calling anybody transphobic or putting all these things or buying LLCs or doing all this stuff to fuck up people's livelihood, because that's just not me. Making Jayla look as malicious as she said she was trying to be when she purchased it in the first place. But at the end, they bring out birthday cake. Pretty much how the reunion ended. This part was a doozy. I didn't know she was gonna Gardini somebody. Jesus. But that is my review and recap for Chasing LA Season 1, the reunion part 2. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a kid, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.